Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to qualify for the Solo Victory Cups and everything you need to know. As someone who's qualified for many Solo Victory Cups myself, I could show you guys exactly what you guys need to do to qualify for them yourselves. I'm going to start off with the format for the Solo Victory Cup. So the format is 2 points in Elim and 60 points for the win. I can't stress this enough, but people see 2 points in Elim and just start keying and throwing their whole tournament away, which is not the move here. So now we're gonna VOD a guy named Zekros. As you can see, he puts up only 5 kills the entire tournament and only plays 5 matches, showing that he's qualifying by playing consistent, and this is what I'll show you how to do today. As you can see, Zekros decides to land at a little house. He's not landing some main POI and trying to key out the whole lobby. He's playing consistent and then making sure that he lives his off spawn so he can have a good game. Zekro finishes looting his drop with 555 and a stacked loadout, which set himself up to win the game. He then here decides to sit in a house, and he just decides to full milk placement while making sure he avoids getting into any unnecessary fights that are gonna set him back and make him die early in this game. But however, he sits in a building, which is much smarter than sitting in a box, because in these Solo Victory Cups, there's a lot of kids that key, especially central kids that like to grief west. They end up taking you out of the game really early, and sometimes these fights are just unavoidable, so sitting in a building is always best. After sitting in the building for a while, Zekro was forced to rotate as he didn't pull zone, but now as you can see, he's going into this endgame with a full loadout and knowing that he has a really good chance to place high in this game. Once again, Zekro doesn't pull zone here, notices a player rotating down the middle of the zone, and he gets a couple tags on him too. He then notices that dead side's opening up to him and has a free rotate, as he knows that nobody's going to be positioned on the side of the map. This is why dead side is so important to utilize in these situations, because it's just going to have a free rotate. As you can see, if you look at the cluster on this map, everybody's positioned on this side of the map. However, Zekro here has a free rotate here, and it's just going to go in, box himself up here, and wait for the next zone to pull. A big mistake that I see lots of people do that Zekros avoids is when he first lands, he doesn't greed and doesn't start looking for any refreshes or anything. He remains patient and waits for his builds to fully harden. Because if you're not doing that and you're looking for a whole bunch of refreshes and you're editing and opening a lot, then someone may spray you and you might just get lobbied, and that can all be avoided if you're just not tunnel visioning and you're remaining patient. I'd like to VOD another player named Nyman. Nyman lands on a singular chest near Shanken Sanctuary to basically guaranteed get on con every single time. Just like our last player, Zekros, he lands at a place that's going to basically get him on con every time, making sure that he can get his endgame consistently and not burn through any games. Nyman quickly loses up off spawn and makes a smart play to sit in a bush here. So just like Zekros, he decides to sit in a bush so he can avoid any mid-game fights. Although Zekros is sitting in a building, they're both avoiding players instead of sitting in a box where you have the much likelihood to get keyed. In late mid-game to early endgame, Nyman realizes that he doesn't have the loot to play this game out, so he decides to make the smart play to run into Storm to look for some scraps. Playing Storm this season is incredibly overpowered. There's so many vending machines to always play and look for some scraps in Storm to get yourself back on your feet. To sum it all up, keying isn't the best way to qual. Solo Victory Cup's favorite placement, so playing passive by landing safe, bush camping, sitting in a building, or even playing Storm is what it truly takes to qual. Good luck.